This episode of Soldier Knows Best is brought to you by GoDaddy. And now GoDaddy allows you to put your website to work while you play because they make everything from starting your website and managing it very easy. And it's very simple to do, easy to set up, and also very affordable. And so start building your website with GoDaddy today with a domain name that just costs $1.99. You can get this price just by using the promo code 199BEST at checkout. That's 199BEST at checkout at GoDaddy.com. Hey, what's up guys, Soldier Knows Best here with the AT&T version of the LG G3, and this is a powerhouse of a phone. This phone is really packing everything you expect from a cell phone nowadays, all the latest hardware, and I'm going to talk about some of the things as I do a quick little unboxing here on camera. But on the inside of this phone, I mean, you have some really good specs. You have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor, and that's going alongside 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and it also has a micro SD card slot that's under the removable back cover. And then you combine that with NFC and also a 3000 milliamp battery that has an option to allow you to do wireless charging with this phone. I mean, this phone really has, again, everything you're wanting in a phone nowadays spec wise. Now we leave the inside and take a look at the outside of the phone. Design wise, I find that the LG G3 really has the one main thing I really liked about the HTC One M8 design, and also one main thing I really like about the Samsung Galaxy S5 design. Actually, a couple things with the S5. But first off, it has that brushed metal look that you find with the HTC One. It's a very sexy, sleek looking phone, but the S5 has that removable back cover, so you can replace the battery. It also to have access to the micro SD card slot and also the SIM card slot, where the HTC One M8 didn't allow you to do that. You have a micro SD card slot on the side, but you couldn't get in there and change the battery. And also too, I like the feel of this LG G3 in my hand. It feels a little bit similar to the S5, just a better overall grip I'm able to get because the HTC One M8 just felt just a little bit slippery for my taste. And so ultimately, LG did a really good job with the G3's design by really taking the best of both worlds when it comes to comfort and also looks. And usually manufacturers usually get one of those right, but LG really did a good job with the design of this phone. And when you first hold the phone, you'll notice that there are no buttons on the sides of the phone. So at the top, the bottom, left and right sides, you will not find any buttons at all. The only buttons on the phone will be found on the back of the phone. And this is something we saw with the LG G2, but they're just designed a little bit better to be more comfortable to press. Now the top and the bottom buttons will control your volume, and the middle button will be your power button or your sleep wake button. Now you can also turn the phone off while you're at the home screen just by double tapping in the middle of the display, but also they have this knock feature now where you can create your own sequence of knocks. So mine is basically 2 in the top right hand corner, 1 in the bottom left hand corner, and 1 in the bottom right hand corner, and that will wake my phone up all the way fully and basically just make me bypass the lock screen altogether. Now speaking of displays, this phone has a 5.5 inch quad HD display, so it's rocking a resolution of 2560 by 1440, and so it's incredibly sharp. Now when you navigate into OS, I mean, it looks good, but I don't think the OS really showcases how great this display is. But LG has added a couple of videos onto your phone which you can actually go ahead and play, and you will be able to see the type of detail you will be able to get out of this phone's display if you have the right content on there. So, and that extra 2 terabytes of micro SD card storage, again, in the future when you start adding video footage that has very high resolution and just a lot of stuff going on inside of it, will start to come in handy. And due to the big screen size and also the thin bezels going around the display, it really feels like you're just holding one big piece of glass in front of you. All right, now let's talk cameras. The front facing camera is a 2.1 megapixel shooter, and the rear facing camera is a 13 megapixel camera that has optical image stabilization, which is a big plus in a cell phone to make sure your videos are not shaky at all. Then it also has this laser autofocus feature, which is basically shooting lasers to whatever target is trying to put in focus, and it sends the information back to the phone, and just really when you tap on something, it's going to be focused almost before you lift your finger off of the screen itself. So it's really fast autofocus. Now in normal conditions with a decent amount of lighting, the laser autofocus is faster than either the autofocus that I've used on a cell phone, but when you get to low light situations, I found to be just as normal as all the other cell phones on the market when it comes to focusing. Now for the most part, I am satisfied with the image quality of this camera. It is a little oversaturated in some of my shots, but for the most part, everything is pretty sharp, especially if you go in and zoom in, you'll find very nice quality with the camera. And you can also shoot in 4K video, which is definitely a plus. And also I like this new feature that will allow you to change the focus after you take a picture, so you'll be able to go in and something like the Litro camera and choose the focal point so you can focus on something that's in the foreground or the background, and then ultimately save that photo however you want to like it. Now let's talk software. Now the base of the software is Android 4.4.2 KitKat, but LG of course has their own skin on top of it. And I do like it over the version that was on the LG G2 because they just made the text a little bit better and a little bit neater, and also the colors and everything else they use throughout the OS is just more pleasing to me. It's not as over the top as it was before, as what it is on other cell phones right now that use skins on top of Android. And then also like the different customizations that LG allows you to do with this phone. You can customize the home touch button, so the buttons that show up at the bottom, you can change the button combination to not just have the home button, back button, and the multitask button, but you can add a quick memo button for that, notifications, Qslide, or a dual window effect. And so that bringing us to the Qslide apps. I mean, it's basically the same apps that you saw before: calculator, file manager, video, or web browser. You can have these different apps scatter across your screen, and this allows you for better multitasking. I don't find myself using it that much, but it is there for you to use and take advantage again of this big screen size. And so this new software boils down to LG really making everything cleaner and tighter, getting rid of extra stuff that you probably don't need, but adding things like a health app to keep track of your health information like everybody else has been doing now. I mean, really just LG's learned from what they've done with the G2 and just made it better here in the G3. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video of the LG G3 on AT&T and basically say this phone has a lot of great things going for it. There's not a lot of bad things you can say about it. It does almost everything pretty well, and it's just solid all the way through when it comes to the hardware and the software and the camera, and especially the display. So I'll leave a link down below if you can go ahead and check out this phone further at one of the appropriate websites. And also too, thanks for everybody entering my LG G3 giveaway that I did in conjunction with LG. And so leave your comment down below what you think about this phone, and thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace.